My yard definitely needs some life and some TLC, and I'm determined to be able to go into my own garden and make beautiful bouquets for my home. So as soon as it got above 50 degrees here in Texas, I got to work on creating a 4x6 flower bed. Now, this is my first time doing this, and I really get most of my information from like TikTok and YouTube nowadays. And it really looks easy online, and it was an easy process. But I'm gonna be honest, it's been a few months, and I expected a lot more growth and a lot more flowers. The lack of growth really is 100% my fault, but I will get into that later. So I've seen the sheet mulching method is a really good weed barrier that is better for the environment rather than weed fabric. And we get packages all the time, so finding cardboard is really easy. I decided on this space because there is already a perennial iris plant growing there, and it's also near the fence, which made sense to create like a border along my fence. I added a mixture of topsoil and compost, which I got from Home Depot, and then the seeds I planted were mostly zinnias, which are easy to grow, and then lupine and echinacea, and then I got a bulb mix that I stumbled upon at Aldi's. I wanted to be like really organized in my planting. I decided to put the seeds into like squares, and then I originally was gonna separate the annuals from the perennials, put like the annuals on one side, so like at the end of the season I could clear it and figure out what to do next season. But then I didn't really keep track of what I planted. Where I really messed up though was not putting up fencing right away. So I have 2 German Shepherd dogs, and I really just underestimated like how much they would walk and run on my garden. So if you do have dogs, make sure that you do put a fence up. And this is just something that I had to learn from experience, because I didn't know that seeds can be really sensitive, and once they're planted, they don't like to be moved or disturbed. Like even if you water them too hard, they don't like that. So it's been about 2 months. And I do have fencing now, and I'm also at home more often, so I can implement a more consistent watering schedule. So I'm going to do another round of seeds to see what happens and see if I can fill in the gaps, because most of the plants did just grow in the middle. So with all that being said, some of the seeds did grow, and only in the untouched portions of soil, like where my dogs didn't walk on it as much. And because some did grow, I did expand my garden another 20 feet, which I talk about in my DIY garden bed video. And that is linked in this gardening playlist and below.